to my kitchen with me today so we can cook Berta beans. I really enjoy beans. And this is a real simple recipe. I just threw it together one day and you'll see. It's really easy. What we're going to do is you take 2 cups of water. I've already put it in my pan. And you're going to add my famous, it's not mine, but it's a vegetable broth, but it's a powder. And I've shown it to you before, but I'll show it to you again. Most of it's gone, but it looks like it's just powdery. So I used a teaspoon of this in here. And so what we do, I'm going to put it on the stove, cook it over a medium heat. Rarely do you need to cook anything over a really, really high heat. If you're frying or something like that, which we don't do, but I don't do. A medium-high heat is probably as much as you need. So put that over a heat, put the top on it so it can boil. And once it boils, then what we're going to do is, I'll move these cans out of the way. I'm going to put the carrots in a little bit later and the spices, but we're going to start with, this is a 1/2 cup of onion. Actually, it's really a 1/2 of an onion, 1/2 of a medium onion. And this is 1 stalk of celery. Chop it up, I don't know, into little tiny chopped up pieces. And then we're just going to put it in there once it boils. And we're going to let that get soft. Once that gets soft, then I'll come back and show you the rest of it. Okay? I'm back from cooking celery and the onion. It's nice and cooked about 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, and they're nice and tender. And keep your lid on, okay? And 5 minutes later, just stir it up, bring it off. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put in your spices. And what I used was a teaspoon of parsley flakes. I get this organic no salt seasoning from COSCO, but whatever seasoning you like a seasoning, something that has several spices mixed up in it. I like this one. Then you're going to use, that's a 1/2 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, another 1/2 teaspoon of marjoram. The recommendation with using marjoram is that you use it at the end, but I like cooking with it. So I just put it into the pot with the beans. And then you're going to use, it says some salt. I used 1/4 teaspoon. I always put the salt in at the end when I'm making things with beans or something like a soup. So I'll put the spices in. And the carrots. And after you've stirred that up, you're going to take 3 cans of your favorite beans. Now, you may want to use all the same bean. But if you've seen any of my shows when I'm making anything, I like to mix different types of things. And so I mix beans. So this was black beans I used. I used black-eyed peas, a can of those, can of black beans, black-eyed peas, and I also used some light kidney beans. But if you don't have those beans around and all you've got is kidney beans, use those. All you've got is black beans, use that. You can either mix or just use one. But just put in 3 cans of beans, okay? And what I've done is I've drained and rinsed them. These are the black beans going in. These are the kidney beans. And these are the black-eyed peas. Use any of your favorite beans, okay? And then you just mix that up. And because the beans are in the can, they're already cooked, we're just going to let everything heat through for about 8 to 10 minutes. And once it's all heated through, then we'll come back and plate it up and I'll show you how beautiful it is. Putting some asparagus on here. It's not my favorite vegetable, but it is a vegetable that I do like to eat now that I know that it's really, really good for me. I tend to eat a lot of things that are good for me, though I may not like it at first, then I start to acquire a taste for it. So the asparagus is on and done. And now I just spoon them on. I'll tell you another way that I eat them is on a baked potato. I just want to tell you, try and get more beans into you because they're high in protein. And that 2 cups that you put in here makes a really nice sauce. Can you see that? And it's not the liquid that they came canned in. So it's really, these are what I call, like I said, my Berta beans. Any bean that you like, you can mix it together or, like I said, have just one. But here's your meal. You're all done. And you can have beans for the rest of the week or whenever you would like on either rice or on a potato and then have a nice vegetable with it. You could even have a small salad too as well. Oh, you know what I did forget? Because a lot of times I eat this without salt. Put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're putting in the salt. I always put it in at the end. And I'll just put a little bit over there. Salt at the very end. Put a little salt on the top and enjoy your Berta beans. Okay? Until next time. Bye for now.